Germany's Foreign Minister Heiko Maas warned in a recent speech that old pillars of reliability are crumbling, in a veiled reference to the U.S. withdrawal from the 2015 Iran nuclear deal, to tariffs on EU metals exports and the threat of more to come on cars. On NATO's old foe Russia, the administration has sent mixed messages by intensifying a U.S. military buildup in Europe while railing against fellow NATO members on defense spending and failing to coordinate on new sanctions on Moscow in 2017. The U.S. President, the de facto leader of the nearly 70-year-old North Atlantic Treaty Organization, has indicated what his message will be at the two-day meeting from Wednesday. Other governments must dramatically step up military spending and lower import tariffs. I'm going to tell NATO, you've got to start paying your bills. The United States is not going to take care of everything, Trump told a rally last week, adding, they kill us on trade. U.S. officials and politicians regularly say Washington spends 70% of its defense budget on NATO, a claim that is flatly denied in Europe. One senior EU official said the number is more like 15%. Like many of the officials and diplomats quoted for this story, he asked not to be named because he was not authorized to speak on the record. EU officials also contend EU tariffs on most U.S. imports are already low. A disastrous NATO summit could provide even worse optics than the divisive Group of Seven meeting in June, especially if a scheduled meeting with Russia's Vladimir Putin in Helsinki on July 16 is more convivial, NATO diplomats said. In the actions we take, we are hoping to spur a multilateral response to address some of the world's toughest challenges, Mitchell said. It came as shock. We realized Trump cares little for the coordinated foreign policy of the past, said one senior diplomat present. We are stuck without U.S. leadership. Feeling ignored at a reception in June celebrating 100 years of American and European partnership in Brussels, Washington's top diplomat to the European Union, Adam Shub, sought to highlight common ground, even on issues such as trade and Iran. The gesture met with muttered disagreement from EU diplomats in the room. Asked about transatlantic tensions, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg has cited the 1956 Suez Crisis and the 2003 Iraq War as examples of policy disagreements that have been overcome. On defense, Europe and Canada have tried to show they are responding to Trump's demands. Defense budgets in European NATO members, Canada and Turkey are expected to rise by almost 4% in 2018, a nearly $90 billion cumulative increase since 2015. That may not be enough to keep Trump from raising the stakes again next week, a senior U.S. defense official said recently. Existential moment, one senior U.S. State Department official said Trump's foreign policy closely hews to Republican thinking in Washington and that tensions had been high for some time. The official added that despite the current strains, the administration deeply values this relationship. Trump's May 8 decision to pull out of Iran accord was a severe setback that has led to talk among EU officials of an existential moment in European diplomacy. They say it also shows that EU efforts to develop a relationship with the White House, including high-profile visits by the French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Angela Merkel, have largely failed. We used to roll our eyes at Trump's policies, but now we are seeing the craziness becoming strategic, another senior EU diplomat who was at the Hill meeting said. We now have to seek out all kinds of partners to further our goals.